So, anger in a relationship especially kills marriages. These problems that the upright person, the person that's willing to take on anger in a calm manner, is not going to have that much of a problem smoothing things over and talking things in a civil way. In comparison, his or her life is a smooth, level road because it's built on a solid foundation of love for God.
Amen.
The next one is stonewalling. You want to avoid stonewalling. Most of the time, it's the gentlemen that do the stonewalling. You know, they drop out completely of the conversation, or they will leave the room. They don't want to talk about anything because they feel that they're being criticized. So you got to look at criticism in a good and bad way. If what that person is being told is the truth and it's right, yes, sometimes it hurts, but criticism can be good for yourself.
Yes.
It makes you think about what the other person has said that you are doing. And if you examine yourself and that's what you are doing, you have to make a change. So stonewalling is simply not taking criticism very well. But there is a right and wrong way to do it. That's why I say if you're taking criticism the correct way and it's coming to you lovingly, just to make you to think about making a correction in yourself, because your spouse can't make that change in you. You have to do that yourself. So you've got to learn to relax and listen actively, really hear what the person is saying, and do not interrupt while they are talking. Let them finish. Let them get out what they have to say. If you have to, if you know you're going to have a serious discussion, you can either record it so you can hear everything that was said, or get a pencil and paper and jot down some notes.
Yeah.
You know, so you can ask, is this what you meant? Or I don't think what you said is totally true. And then you have your say. And then that's when the other person has to let you finish on what you have to say. But you've got to be totally concerned about what that person is saying about you. Good way to handle criticism.
Another negative way is the act or fact of having a romantic or sexual relationship with someone other than your husband or wife. Don't spend secret time alone. Even if you're at work and you're working closely with someone you of the opposite sex, you should not spend a lot of time with them, because that can get really out of order. Spending time going out to lunch with them, maybe calling them every chance you think about. You really should back off from that and just be sociable at work, but don't get close to the opposite sex, because that can ruin your relationship, in your marriage especially. Don't make secret phone calls. And with social media, you can get in there and you can actually start doing the wrong thing, and it just kind of happens. So the best thing to do is not get close, really close to the opposite sex.
Yes. And another thing that couples should not do is keep score on who done the right thing and who does the wrong thing. Scorekeeping is for playing games. Remember, if you're gonna play a game, it's gonna hurt the relationship.
Yeah.
If you do it the wrong way. If you're gonna be right about it and you wanna play a game with one another, be on the same team. Do not be against your partner.
Yeah.
So when the score comes, it's a score for both of you, not just one.
Amen.
So you got to be looking at the different things that's going on in your relationship when you want to say, well, I was right. Another mark for me. You don't want to do that. Scorekeeping in relationship is not going to get you anywhere, actually, because in the role of scorekeeping, you're elevating yourself. You're making yourself superior over the spouse that is in the relationship. So you're up, they're down. So you don't want to get in a situation to where you're keeping score that puts your partner down. And issuing ultimatums also is another thing you want to avoid. You don't want to get in the situation that, okay, if I do this, you better do that. Or if you do that, I'm gonna do this. You know, it's either my way or the highway, as they used to say. No ultimatums. Ultimatums are very negative in the relationship. And it also causes resentment or bitterness in a relationship. So you want to stay away from that.
We've noticed that the problem most couples face are usually arguments that can be traced to insecurities masked as trust issues. A lot of couples, they fight over the same thing over and over, mainly because they're not saying what's truly in their heart.
Right.
So when you say what's in your heart, then it can be resolved. But if you keep fighting and going in the same circle over and over and over, you're not saying what's really truly in your heart. So we believe that being truthful in the relationship, so your spouse can say, okay, I believe that you're going to go to the store and you're going to come back. Okay, if you saying you're going to the store and you know you got something else in mind, then that's where the trust issues come in, because usually if you're going to lie about it, the truth is going to prevail. So you're going to have to really just be truthful so your spouse can trust you. Because to me, in marriage, if there's no trust, there's no relationship.
And me, I think a lot of this comes down to selfishness, where you want to be right and nobody else can be in that category than you. And I'm going to give you two scriptures. One is from Philippians 2:3-4, NIV Bible, and it says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others." The second verse I want you to check out is from James 3:16-17, also from the NIV. "For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace, loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere." So I think both of those hit on the selfishness of individuals when they're not being truthful to one another. So if you've been blessed to be in a great relationship, cherish it at all cost. It may not be perfect, but if your mate makes you happy,
Yes.
and brings out the best in you, then don't consciously or unconsciously ruin it by making simple mistakes that can be avoided. Be blessed. Ministers Brad and Dot Wicker.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.